So I thought I'd just give you a bit of an update how the building's going out here, because it's a bit of a mammoth job this, and the roof goes on next week, so it's going to look entirely different next week, and you won't see the amount of work Buddha and the boys have put into this. This is just, sorry about the dogs behind. We've got one that's come in that's very unsettled. It actually injured its owner a little bit when it came in, so I'm a bit worried about her. She was nearly broke her jaw. It was not good. Anyway, she appears okay, but be careful with your dogs when they get excited. This one just jumped up and smashed her in the jaw, and yeah, it was not good. Anyway, there you go. This structure here with the dogs barking in the background, as you can see, there's a lot of the roof actually comes out to the final edge there, so that end that you're seeing sort of right there, the roof does come out. But this little architectural bit of the V work here, I absolutely love it. I just think it's a little different. It's something good, and and you will lose the focus on that as the unfortunately as the job gets the roof on it. You won't, from underneath you'll see it, and that's great. But I think seeing it like this, it does give you a bit of an idea just how much time these guys have spent on scissor lifts, welding and making brackets, and as you can see, it's all supported extremely well. My guess is it's going nowhere, and everything will go back into the fascia there. So this is going to be completely aligned height-wise, etc. It really is beautiful. Here we've got a little bit of a slight gap difference, but we wanted to maintain the same roof height as over here. So whilst we've got a slight gap between say where the gutter is coming off the previous roof and then where the other roof's going to sit, I think actually it was a worthwhile compromise to not have like you wouldn't have wanted to drop it from here, and it really, I think you'll be staggered when you see the panels go up. And I never really did get a close look at the panels with you with the last video, but just to explain it, it's basically corrugated iron. So we're keeping the same Coro finish because of the current Coro on there, which probably is just what you've got to do. But as you can see, they've got this 100mm, I'm guessing it's about 100mm foam that it basically sits on. And it's all insulated, so you can effectively cool down areas, especially where the sun's hitting with us in the afternoon. This will cool it down so much, and we've got quite a bit more of this to come yet. We were going to do this project in 2 stages. Then I sold a car and came into a bit of money, and Sam said, not for long. Anyway, that was pretty much what happened. So that's the gear. It's called Insulated, and it's a Colorbond product, and it's pricey. But I don't know. I think when you really examine just the span of this stuff, that it can. I mean, we can span 8 meters with this, and we can basically put in less frame structure to put this all together. So there are some positives that when you really look at it, you think, well, maybe it's not as expensive. I think Buddha was telling me, my builder, that it's about 30% more expensive than sort of the whole steel solution and just using a bit of corrugated iron, and I think he was saying that would have included air seals. So if you're paying 30% more, it really depends on how much you want to cool down these areas. And as you can see, the sun hits a lot of these areas all day, and the afternoon it gets not so bad on this side, but it actually gets worse on this side. Pretty much it's direct sun. The sun, to give you an idea, the sun is right there through the trees, and since we're going to be cutting these trees back a bit, we're going to lose some of that. So we need to do this. But it's quite a project. I think I'm going to see my Mustang dissolve very fast. I had money for about 5 minutes, but Sam fixed that. No, we both fixed that. That's all right. We're going to do, obviously, along the front here, and Buddha's redoing our steps and going to have some nice... there's my cat. Hey, Sophie. Sophie. Hello, Sophie. Sophie, come on. And, so they're going to be all mobile steps coming up and down, and a bit of a pad put down here. So that should get us. This, to be honest, this has not been the safest way to get up and down. I'll tell you why. Because your immediate step there, as you can see down to your first step, doesn't follow any rulings that would be correct. The steps from there, they're fine, and that's pretty much what you want your steps to be. I think, what is it, 190 mil? I think 190 is the step, where here we've got an extra 100 mil, where if you weren't thinking about it and you didn't know there was that unexpected extra drop, you're going to come flying down. So, they're not going to comply. They were put in as a temporary measure just to get us up and down off the decking when we built it. So that temporary measure has only lasted about 10 years. So that's a bit embarrassing, but it shouldn't have been that way. Anyway, so we'll, oh, hello, got a hen as well. Hello. Hey, mate. Walk, 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 walk. No. Yeah, and they're great how the animals all get along. Anyway, as you can see, look, this has been a good 2 weeks of work. Porter and the boys have been on, and don't get me wrong, it's a day missed now and again, but by the same token, a lot of the time, unfortunately, and it's not a good use of Buddha's time and his boys, is been spent painting this, but I've just been so crook. Unfortunately, even today, I've tried to get a bit of business out the way, but generally I've been sleeping. My heart condition is just really giving me some trouble at the moment, and the drugs have got me on they're actually, they told me they're intentionally making me sleep a little bit at the moment, so, but yeah, I've sort of got things to do, so I'm trying to get that across to them, but doctors don't exactly listen much, but anyway, apparently it's fine, good. But yeah, that aside, this is why this project will cost a little bit more, because when you've got guys who just giving you some advice on builders, when you've got builders on site, find their specialty, use them, and then find other people to do other jobs. Fortunately, Buddha's always really good to us, and us having him paint it, it'll come at a bit of a premium, because look, it has to, I get it, but he just, I don't know, he just looks after. He's a great guy. Anyone that wants his details, you can just go away. No way, I'm not giving up Buddha, no way. No, I'm kidding. No. Oh, have a look at this. Wow. That, my dear friends, is a snake they found. Wow. Okay, well, that one's definitely not going to bite anyone, but look at that. Yes, living in the country, love the experience, hate the brown snakes, but that one obviously came to a bit of a... and that one looks like it got guinea fowled. Our guinea fowls run around the place protecting us from snakes, so anyway, so when we do a video next week, I think we'll be showing you something very different, and I'm predicting late next week. Once they get this structure in place, everything happens so fast. It really does. And the Buddha and his boys, they're just unreal. They all sort of, it's like they've got headsets on each other and telling each other instructions, except they're not. They just know what they have to do, and they do it. And I'm not saying that from a non-tradesperson. I owned a shed company with a mate of mine going back a bit, and we're used to sort of tradies, and making sure that everybody's doing their job. Buddha doesn't. I don't ever see him giving instructions to the guys. It's just they just know what they're up to, and it's a good team. I can say now, our shed company probably would have been a bit more successful if two things: if we had a team like Buddha's, and second, if we hadn't have if you guys remember, we did a property in Palomana, and that's when I became involved with those guys. And long story how that all happened, but Palomana was a good example in how not to make money, because we tried to do all the infills of the building, and we learnt that our guys were fantastic at knocking up, like they could knock up a shed, like all the outside stuff in no time at all. And when we said to them, go rondo the internals of it, it was all like, but what do you want here again? And it was all questions, where if we left them on framework and cladding, they just knocked it out in days. Took them weeks to put together a few rondo walls. So you got to know what you're good at. And if you're looking at getting tradesmen on your property, I would always say that you don't try to overextend them into things that they don't normally do, because you'll pay for it. You will. And trust me, we did with Palomano. The outside, we came in under budget by a mile. The internals That's why we end up buying part of the company. Long story, but anyway, so that's sort of a bit of a look at just how it's all going, and yeah, well, this will go vanish over the next week. We'll get. I think we're going to have just to prepare you. Probably this side here won't get done in the next week because the product won't be here. I think we'll just get this side done, and then Buddha can get off to another job, and then come back and reclad here at a guess. But I am guessing because who knows with Buddha? I mean, the man's a machine, and he doesn't like leaving things unfinished. So we'll see. But bear in mind that we had not scheduled in to do this side of it at all. So he's had to fit this side in. This side here, absolutely scheduled in. This side, not scheduled. I went to Buddha and said, hey, can we backtrack on what I said and basically just put this section in now? And he said, well, this would be the time to do it because we can just keep doing steel work, and then, and then we can make sure that everything gets together with the heights and everything. Where what was going to happen was we were going to finish right on that edge there, and then we were going to have to work out, how we then adapt into even just things like putting the two bits of sheet together. Because as you'll see, he would have had to have probably left one. They have a bit of overhang, and you'll see just in here, like so. Pretty much, there's a bit of overhang. The foam stops there. Now, this gate in the way doesn't help, does it? I chose a shocking place to show you that. Yeah, well, there's one there, probably better. But you can see that's how they clip over it. So he would have had to have left one there. And obviously, it created a whole lot of mystery as to, was I going to say, oh, let's change product here, let's not use the same one because I was broke from using this product over here, So, look, I think good timing on selling the Mustang. For those of you who think there's just too much money lying around here, trust me, we budget everything. We have to. We're just not rich. See, we've even got, this is how we eat. See, the chickens lay the eggs and then we make the omelettes, and I don't know why they're about. They're normally, I don't know, normally she's got them sort of stuck away in the chicken coop area. And there's a fairly big fenced area. I don't want the RSPCA here. It's a huge area. But she must be letting them sort of free range around the place a bit at the moment, which is okay. It doesn't, apart from stepping on chicken poop every now and again while you're trying to get into the house. But yeah. All right. So there you go. That's where we're up to. Actually, the dog's starting to calm down a bit too, which is good. I sort of knew that, look, this dog that comes in regularly, just something not right. I get a feeling something's not right with it at the moment, but we will give it lots of love and care while it's here, and we'll see. That's the same dog there. That's, Coda. Coda's a great dog. I even had to ask at the time because Sam sees the dogs a lot more than I do. And I said, this is the same Coda. I mean, we've got a few Codas that come in, like we've got a few Daves and a few, different dogs, I mean, you wouldn't think there'd be that many Daves, would you? And we've got Bob the Beagle. We love Bob the Beagle. But yeah, Coda, just something just very different to what I've seen of Coda before. But Sam may look at Coda and go, oh, you're overreacting, that's Coda. And she knows the dogs much better than I do. So I could see now the owner didn't appreciate me telling her to be careful of her own dog, but it's just the smash she took to her jaw. I'm thinking, man, I've been hit by people and nearly, had a broken jaw, and I'm thinking that dog hit you hard. But anyway, she was a little bit dazed, and so I expect me telling her to be careful of her own dog was probably bad timing. But anyway, but we do have a responsibility, sort of in the dog business to, to make sure that everybody's safe on the property. So anyway, all right. Well, there you go. You've got a bit of an insight into the dog business, as well as the steel business and the car sales business, which that's obviously proving to be something where there's not much money in, because if the minute you sell a car, you can't go out and buy another one, and you've got to pay for a project like this, well, that's a business to get out of it, isn't it? All right. Okay, all the best, and there you go. More updates very soon. Cheers, guys.